What's up, everyone? Tristan here with BounceCraft, and today we're going to be doing a beginner tournament review. Now, we had a tournament this past Sunday. Today is Sunday, so a week ago, and I was like, I got to get this video out before I forget what happened during the tournament. So I'm recording this today, a week later, and I'm just going to review some of the footage that took place. I got some really good videos. Now, just a disclaimer, if you're in this video, this is not a personal attack at all. This is just feedback and tips to maybe help you get better. I'm also not perfect, so anything that I say could be completely false. And if you disagree, feel free to put it in the comments. I will not be offended. Now, with that being said, this is a beginner tournament. We had 8 people in this tournament. It was round robin. Most of everyone knew each other, but some people probably never played with one another. We didn't have enough room to allow people to sit out. One person dropped out of the tournament last minute, so people didn't really have a lot of time to rest between the games. Luckily, we got through all of the games. I will say towards the end, people were starting to get tired, but it still didn't take away from the quality of the games, especially in the beginning. So let's get right into it. This first game, we have Rebecca here. We have Torin on the right side, and then we have Philip and Elizabeth. So Rebecca does a serve, and again, these are all beginners, so I'll go easy. Rebecca does a serve. Let's see again how that serve went out. Serves. Nice long serve. So Philip does a really good side shuffle, but probably just missing the form. I like that he decided to use the backhand versus like going around it. I think that was the good play in that instance. Just probably work on the backhand drive a little bit more. So they get that point, and we'll go through this faster than last time. Rebecca serves again. Great deep serve. Very good serve. Elizabeth hits it back. Great return. It's hard to see the ball. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, so Philip tips it with the top. I will say, okay, my critique here, Philip. Right, so you see how like a split second before this, your paddle isn't ready. It's just kind of hanging, and you're kind of waiting to see where the ball will go before moving your paddle. My suggestion: keep that paddle up before the ball is even going where it's going, because watch how you kind of now move your paddle up. If your paddle was already up, you probably would have got the spike in. So big suggestion. That helped me out. Oh, yes. By the way, I am shirtless. Don't judge. It was very hot. It was very hot. All right, so they get that point. Good serve. Kind of mixed it up a bit. Nice deep return by Philip. Philip, again, you see how your paddle is down? That paddle, you see how Elizabeth's is up? You want to keep that paddle up. So Torin hits a drive, and that was probably going to go out. Nice. So he let Torin let it go out. Good rally. I mean, for beginners, these are good rallies. Like no real critiques about anything I'm seeing. This is really good first game. Great serves by Rebecca. Yeah, that is an amazing serve. Nice and deep. See, the thing about pickleball, y'all, it's not really about like how fast the ball goes when you serve it. It's about how deep and almost how loopy the serve is. That's actually a better serve. Nice. So Philip got the spike in. That was a really good shot. Now it's Torin's serve. Yeah, I think that was out. That was definitely out. Is there a way to speed this up? Speed, yeah, let's go. Let's go, speed, let's see. Okay, it's going faster, I guess. Yeah, so Philip missed the serve. Let me actually turn that down. I'll turn that off. I don't know if that makes it. be default. Let's do default. All right, so with this serve, so Elizabeth serves it. Good serve. It goes in really deep. Rebecca misses it. It goes to the backhand. That was a really good serve. That's what you want to do in those situations. So next serve. Knight, I think that hit line. Whoops. Where were we at? Sorry, I got lost in the sauce. All right, here we go. Yeah, it didn't hit line, but it was really close. All right, so in that situation, let's go back and review what happened there. So Torn hits a really good. I mean, that thing basically hit line damn near. In this case, Elizabeth already has a really good form how she's coming in to hit the ball. She should be the one to hit it, but in this case, Philip takes it away from her before she can get to it and hits a sort of off balance shot, which is why you're gonna see it like pop up like this. In this case, Philip, you want to give this to Elizabeth because she's in position to get it. So just a tip, just a suggestion here, and then Torin gets it like that. So that was Elizabeth's shot, but not a big deal. All right, next shot, Rebecca serves it. That is out. I would say in this case, oh my God, I keep messing that up. I'm trying to like slow it down. I'm not going to critique the serve, but all right, so this is where we're at. So Torin serving after this. It almost looks like you kick it up at the end. So maybe, I don't know. I don't want to critique form too much. All right, so Torin serves it. Nice serve.
I gave up so many points. Wow.
Right behind him. Good overhead lob a little bit.
I gave up so many points. I gave up so many points.
So in this case, though, Elizabeth, so you see how you kind of like pop it down? I know they give you a big one, like a big easy one to get. So that is the right choice. But in this case, I would maybe go for either a cross court shot or something that's lower. So the way that you hit it, it pops it up, so it's actually easier for them to get. So you hit it really like hard at the ground rather than hitting it at their feet, right? So when you're hitting a spike, an overhead spike, you're not really aiming for like hitting it at the ground as hard as possible. I mean, yes, that helps, but really you're aiming for their feet because it's hard to get the ball when it lands at your feet. It's hard to get it. So like how Torin is here, if you hit the cross shot at his feet, which you basically did, you just placed it on the other side. If this would have landed right here instead of right there, Torin probably wouldn't have gotten it. But because you put it here, Rebecca is like back here. So it bounces and then it pops up and then it gives her the perfect shot to be able to hit it. So just one thing to note, when you're hitting spikes, you're aiming for your opponent's feet. And it's just a good overhead. All right, so here we have Torin serving. Good serve. That was tough. Tough shot. That was a good return, Philip. All right, so here's Philip serving. I think that just hit line, which is really nice. Yep, so there's the spike from Rebecca. In this case, I mean, right idea. Just, with the drop shot, just try to keep it lower. There's a spike. Okay, so there's a good serve from Elizabeth, and it's out. All right, so there's the next serve. Torin hits it, and it's out. Here's the next serve. Elizabeth serves it. Elizabeth's serves are really good in this game. Nice defense. Good shot from Rebecca. Really good. Let me look at this again. See how she hits it almost towards his feet. I mean, it's not really at his feet, but it didn't pop up very high, and it still was basically at his feet the way that it like popped up and the way they hit his paddle. So that's a really good spike that you're really going for. That's what you're really aiming for. All right, so next serve we got, looks like Torin.
971.
Yep. Let me turn this down a bit. Torin hits it. Nice backhand, and it's out again. 10-7-1. I can hear this time. Yep, so in that case, again, you're going for the drop shot in this situation. When both of your opponents are here, paddles ready, make sure you guys keep these paddles up. When both of your opponents are in this position, you do not want to hit a drive to them unless you got a mean drive or you just see like a really exposed opening. Or you and your partner are not moving up. Let me actually go into like what just happened here as well. All right, so Torin, this is actually not a critique, but a suggestion for you. So you see how you moved all the way up? You don't move up until you neutralize the ball. So the ball hasn't been neutralized because Rebecca hasn't even hit the ball. So like the ball can only be, well, both sides can neutralize the ball, but this side shouldn't be neutralizing the ball. You guys are the one that want to neutralize the ball, and it hasn't been neutralized yet. You moved up too soon in this situation. And I'm telling Torin this because I teach him a little bit. So I'm going to be a little bit more harsh on him. But yeah, in this situation, you want to stay back, stay where Rebecca is. So you see how Rebecca stayed back? This is actually the proper thing to do. Now, it wasn't really your fault, Torin, because the ball didn't even come to you, so it doesn't even technically matter, right? Like, you couldn't have done anything in this situation. But sometimes just even being here, when your partner is right there, can also throw them off. Like, if you're not side by side, because they're thinking, like, if the opponent puts the ball right here, they're thinking, well, now I got to cover this side. Versus, since you're the forehand, your partner has more confidence because they're like, all right, Torin has this, so I don't have to worry about this side. So they hit it down middle. Actually, I think you could have gotten that, Torin, when I'm looking at that, because they put that down middle. So yeah, if you hadn't moved up, it's possible you probably would have been able to get that and put that back in. So just a note, going forward, try to move with your partner and don't move up until the ball has been neutralized. All right, next play. All right, Rebecca serves it. That's way out. All right, so Philip is serving. Okay, good serve, good return. Nice drop, Elizabeth, and you get the point. So it looks like they probably came back. All right, nice serve, Philip. Let me look at that serve again. Great serve, nice and deep. And you hit it towards his backhand, so it made him kind of move around. Yeah, kind of move around. Next serve, that was just out. All right, so Elizabeth serves it. And that hit line. That was very close, but I think it was out. Yeah, that was definitely out. Okay, next serve. Short serve, not bad though. Short serves are good. Goes for the drop, misses it, but right idea. Keep doing those. Rebecca serves it. And then Elizabeth hits it out. And that's the end of the game. So good job by everyone in this game. That was a really good first game. I think this one ended up being pretty close. I don't remember the score, but it was probably like 10-10 or something at one point. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I started this probably like 30 seconds into the game. So this game is going to be a little bit higher level out of all the games we had. We had Alejandro, Torin, Chris G, and Philip. All right, so getting into this game, we're starting off kind of easy. We're going with the dinks. We're in a dink battle. Chris G hits it, Alejandro hits it. Nice, hitting it to the across court. So that was a really good play. So in this case, Torrin speeds it up. He speeds it up well because he hits it at Chris's feet. But here he speeds it up again, and it's going towards his backhand. In this situation, I want you to let that ball drop because this ball could have potentially went out. And this would have been a perfect time to let the ball drop, step back, and then use your backhand and hit it cross court. Cross court is a little bit more forgiving if you hit it too high because now it crosses over the net. So you really want to go for that cross court dink in this situation. So he hits it into the net, and I guess they got a point. Okay, so Chris G serves it, hits it. Okay, good shot. And I think it just hit line. And I think Chris was telling Philip how to move a little bit in this game. So this may not have been the best game for Chris just because he was doing a little bit more than usual. Okay, Philip serves it. Chris G hits it a little high there. Great dink by Philip. I think that was out. Yeah, so that was out. Wish I knew the score right now. Okay, so Philip serves it out. That's fine. It happens. Alejandro serving it. Nice deep serve. Amazing serve, actually. So Chris G poaches that. And Philip goes for the soft touch, and that's fine. Let me see this again. Let me see if I'm spotting anything. So in this case, I would have actually hit it. All right, so if I'm in this situation, what I'm noticing is Alejandro is out of position, right? He hits it. I mean, yes, he can get back, but in this case, I'm hitting it straight back to Alejandro right about here because I'm noticing he's in this position and kind of stuck too. Also, one thing, guys, keep them paddles up, man. Like Torrin, Chris, Philip, like y'all paddles are just way too low for you guys to be in a dink battle. But yeah, in this case, I would have just swiped it right back this way because he's out of positioning. It would have threw him off. But again, not a big deal. Just a tip. All right, so let's go through it. Blah blah blah. I think I might have skipped a point. Actually, that was a good play. Let's watch this again. So Alejandro serves it. It skids off of the net really nice. Nice return by Chris. Oh, nice backhand too. And that was that's tough. Tough shot. That was a really good return though. All right, Alejandro serves it. Philip. Really good return. I actually like those high loopy shots. I know it's not the most flashy looking play, but it gets the job done and allows your teammate to get to the net. It's not a bad shot at all. Serves into the net. Got a lot of netters in there. All right, so Philip served it. All right, they slow it down. Good shot, like the right idea, just didn't execute it. And I know Chris has gotten better since then, so I'm sure the next tournament he's going to be really good. That was a really good serve. He's been working on that soft touch. So, and he's getting a lot more tournament play. So I know he's going to improve with the next one. Good serve. Let's see that again. I would say in this situation, don't move up. I would say don't move up. Yeah, because this kind of threw you off. I think if you stayed here, then the ball would have came straight to you, or you could have just kind of took one step up and you'd have that forward momentum drive as you're stepping into it and you could hit it. Yeah, in this case, I would say moving up is what cost you in that situation. I might be skipping some points. Let me see the serve again. Tough shot, tough serve. That's a serve that bounces at the end. It makes it really difficult to get to. Plus, they don't have a lot of space on this court. All right, so Turin serves it again. Krishy hits it. Alejandro hits it, speeds it up a bit. That is going out. That was out. All right, Krishy serves it. Great serve. Yep, that got Turin. Good serve. All right, here's a serve. Tough shot. Let's see it again. Yeah, that shot just died. But in this case, what I'd like to see is Chris take more. In this situation, I want to see Chris take more of a lead on this because this is his forehand. And I'm noticing Chris is like really in the corner here. And that's fine. Like if you serve from the corner, it's nothing wrong with serving from that corner. But I just would like to see Chris. I like to see him be a little bit more in the middle after the serve, because this didn't really have to happen on Philip's part. Like Philip kind of had to cover this shot, which he's not going to be as strong with. Like using that backhand right down middle, like that's not going to be a strong hit for him. Versus with Chris, it's his forehand. Like if you're serving it, at least after the serve, you should be right here. You should be right in the middle. You shouldn't be up here either. You should be right back here. That's a quick step over. You hit it over. That's what I would have preferred to see in this situation. This is all hindsight, right? All right, so Philip is serving. Let's see that serve again. Looks like it was really deep. Really, really good serve. Yep. Right idea. Chris is going for the drop shot. He's going for the drop shot to Alejandro's backhand. Just, it didn't work, but that's the right idea. All right, so Torn serves it. So one thing you'll notice, let's go back just a little bit. So Torn starts serving in the middle, and now he goes back into the middle. Boom. Unfortunately, he did it. He did a follow-up shot that was just too high, but it is what it is. All right, Alejandro serves it. Boom. Let's look at that again. Again, Philip, keep that paddle up. It's not. I mean, you can make a shot work even with the paddle being down, but it makes you just ready for like those shots, and it causes your body to just relax a little bit more. Good serve. In this case, Torin could drill that and get an easy point in those situations. We're going to probably skip through the rest of this. I think the rest of this game was a little bit one-sided. Just out. Just out too. Yeah, so that's just covering the weak side, hitting the weak side. In this case, this is a shot that I like to see Chris be able to defend against. It's not an easy defend, but it is doable, right? And I know Chris can do it. In this case, I wish I could see this in slow-mo, but in this case, you know that Alejandro is going for this side. It's hard to see with the paddle, but I think in the game you'd be able to see like he's going for this side. So just be ready for it already. And hitting it upwards is generally not what you want to do. In this situation, you definitely want to hit that cross shot, cross court, over the net, hit it towards his weak side. I know it's all hindsight, but yeah, that's what I would go for. And this was just the exposed weakness that Alejandro hit. Yeah, tough shot. And I think this was the second game. So, I mean, again, people aren't fully warmed up. The drop shots, aren't really going to work every time. All right, let's go through this a little bit. Let's go to the next game. We can go towards the end of this one. This one's pretty long too. I think this is 15 minutes. So each round had a limit of 15 minutes. Nothing more than that. Really good serve. Holy shit. Wait. I think you have to let that bounce though. Yeah, because if Philip just served it, Chris took that out of the air. Did they get the ball? Did they get that point? Oh, they didn't. Okay, I was gonna say, like, what is going on? I was not paying attention. Obviously, I'm talking. And also, y'all, just note, like, if you're watching this and you're in BounceCraft or if you do these tournaments, I am not like analyzing your particular game. Honestly, I'm not even really looking at you. I'm just looking at where the ball is going. Like all of the stuff I'm noticing now, I don't notice this during a game. All right, that was the end. I guess I kept recording for another 3 minutes or so. All right, next game. Looks like we got 3 more. So this is Philip, Elizabeth, Alejandro, and Allison. Let's go to a different game. I want to get a game that was like really, really close. Because some of the games were a little bit one-sided. All right, so if we do this game here, you'll see me just kind of setting up for like 10 minutes. So this one, this was towards the end of the tournament. Everyone was tired. This was like the second to last game or something like that. I'm showing this game was only 5 minutes. So let's look at this one. This would be a quick one. All right. And let me turn the sound up a bit. I want to see what the score was.
0-2. 5-0-2.
So 5-0-2. I started recording this pretty late. So in this case, right idea. So this shot, you have to take this out of the air. You can let it drop. Like looking at the trajectory of this thing would have landed right here. Like technically you can take a step back and lean back and kind of go into it, but it's not going to be easy for most people to do that. I'm actually not mad that Rebecca chose to take this out the air. Just next time, and I think maybe she was aiming for here, but I definitely would focus more on hitting this side because what you'll notice, I mean, Alejandro's is far back on this play anyways. So, and I kind of lost it just now. I think it was right here. So Alejandro, he's already backing up. You can hit it pretty far. He's not going to run up and be able to get it. So you can almost like slam it at him and kind of hit this like try to hit it towards the going out of bounds, and it's just going to throw him off. So not a bad play though, like the right idea. 6-0-2. And Chris G had a really good game this game. I was watching this one in particular. A lot of defensive plays happened during this game. In this case, I mean, Chris G knows we play a lot. He wants to hit that softer dink, and you want to hit it over here. A lot of high dinks like that are just easily attackable. And Chris, if you're watching this, you can see these. You can watch these back in real time. So like you can see here, like this is way too high. Whatever. Alejandro's very quick with his hands. Already has his paddle down. Just misses it, but if he got it, I'm sure it would have went over. That was a really good attempt. All right, we have SK here. Good serve. Good. Wow, good get. I don't even remember that. Just out. Just out. Really good serve. Chris G had a really, I mean, this was a really good game by him. I think he said 6-0-1. That was in. Really good return. Really good. That was really good defense. And what you'll notice is a lot of their shots are hitting their feet. Again, in an earlier game, I said that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for their feet. You're not aiming for the ground. You're aiming for those feet. Hit it right there. It forces them to stay back. Hit it again right at their feet. And they have to do these awkward shots. This shot was a little short. I would have preferred they keep them pushed back. But, you know, it is what it is. They still got the point. Good serve. That thing hit line. Really good serve. That was tough.
7-0-2.
Okay. Really good rally. Good rally.
0-7-1.
Good shot. That's tough. That's a tough shot to get.
1-7-1.
Should have let it go out. It's all good though. Let me see this play again. So SK hits it high, whatever. It should have went out, or at least you should have let it bounce. Chris slaps it back in. Chris, you need to put that paddle up right after you hit it. That paddle should be up right now. Because in this situation, Chris, you could have actually spiked this. If you notice, your paddle's just down at this point, right? Oh my God, I don't even know what just happened. Where the sorry, y'all, I'm using a new software. It's called Pot Player. Let me try to get back to it. All right, this is actually where we were at. Okay, so let's go in slow motion. Let's go here. All right, here we go. So good spike. Boom. If your paddle's up right here, that's a spike. Let me see if I can get it. I got it right here. That's a spike. That's a reach over spike. So you kind of did that, but you kind of did it kind of late where it just wasn't. And again, you got the point. I'm not critiquing the point. I'm just saying like the best way to handle this, I think, would be keep that paddle up. And then it just went at Rebecca's feet. And if we go back and look at how this could have been avoided, honestly, not a bad attempt by Rebecca. I would have done something similar, most likely. Maybe get lower. That would be my only suggestion. Yeah, I would say get lower. SK should have also. Probably should have also gotten back after you hit that lob. You make it like.
Could you try again?
Siri, what are you talking about? Yo, phone's just listening to me. I think SK should have also been back in this situation. I think him being up there is also not helping the situation. I think Rebecca did the best she could in this situation. There's not much I would change about this. I would say SK being up here is actually worse. And I think we went over this in a previous play, but being here is really dangerous. After he hit that high ball, he should have moved back. So you hit it high. It's not the highest ball, but it's still high enough that Chris can get it. So, all right, next play. Let's move on. All right, Rebecca's serving it. It's out. Oh! That was close. It was very, very close. That was a very close call. I probably wouldn't have called that out. That was too close for me to even see just watching it back. That was a close one, too. That's in, actually. Yeah, I can see that's in.
SK and it just falls like short, like 2 feet. Serve.
Good spike. SK has really good spikes. I play with him fairly often, and that's one of his strengths is his power. Good backhand. That's in. Just out. All right, I think it's 10-2. Maybe not 10-2. Good, great backhand. That is a really good shot. Let's watch this again. So Alejandro hits it to Rebecca's backhand, and she does the right play. She pushes away. So with a backhand, you're pushing off more, especially when it's a cross body backhand. You're going to be doing a more push motion with not as much follow through, and so you kind of have to push away from you rather than like a drive, your standard drive. So just a really good backhand overall. Chris slows it down. I like that play. It's just way too high, but I like the fact that she hit it towards Alejandro. All right, we got two more. Let's go over this 839 gigabyte one. I don't want to go over all these. I'm actually not sure how long I've been recording. Okay, 36 minutes. Let's see what this last game was. I just want to see who's in the game. So this game was 8 minutes. But like the quality of the game's kind of like teetered towards the end here. People were very tired. I mean, you can see it with the serve. We'll do this last game here. This one. Was this Torn and Alejandro? Oh yeah. Also, to start the game, I was like, you just got to RPS for it. So everybody play rock paper scissors to figure out who will go first. Because I was like, I didn't create the schedule like in a different way. Like it was just you RPS if you want to go first. All right. So this will be the last one. Chris serves it. It's out. They Alejandro served it. Oh, that was almost an ATP. All right, goes out. Okay, that was a serve. You can't see; it was off screen. Okay, Alejandro just took over on that rally. All right, Allison hits it. Chris hits a really good shot. A lot of these shots are just really like high intensity at this point. Now with these high intense shots, you kind of want to not do those. You really want to stick to the fundamentals, hitting those drop shots. All right, then Alejandro is going for the hard hitter shots. In these situations, he should be dropping it because you see both people are ready. And Elizabeth does a really good job of keeping her paddle up. Chris, your paddle drops far too often, in my opinion. You really need to focus on keeping that thing up. Remember, it's boxing gloves. What they tell you in boxing, you never let those gloves drop. Yeah, everyone's tired right now. I don't blame them. Honestly, I can't do more than like 3 or 4 games. I'm pooped, man. I need a rest when I'm doing a tournament. Okay, good shot, Chris. Way too high, but he knows that. 2-1-2. Great serve. Great serve. Great serve again. Moved up too soon. I mean, it still worked out, but moved up a little too soon. Make sure to stay back. I'm not sure what happened there. So, hold on. This was a really good serve. Really good serve. A lot of speed behind the serve. Good return, too, though. In this case, I mean, this is Allison's ball to hit. Don't look at... You got the forehand. It's not your partner's ball. That is completely you. In this case, Alejandro is the stronger partner, though. He should just go for it anyways. But that is 100% your shot to take.
5-1-2.
All right, 5-1. All right, that one went out. Chris in these games, he was becoming more aggressive, so he was getting a lot more wins just out. I mean, it's a good shot. That's tough. One thing I'll say, I'll turn this down. One thing I'll say with pickleball, there is a certain point where speed becomes a factor, right? So like these soft shots, these dinks and everything, these are good shots, and yes, you need to be able to do them. But at a certain level, the game becomes who can outpower the other opponent. So when we think of like Venus, Serena Williams, a lot of their strength came from their actual strength. Um, the ability to hit the ball very hard, that is a strength, that is a tool that you have to be able to do once you get to a certain level. So when you're hitting these return serves, you need to be able to hit them kind of hard once you get to a certain level. Like you can't just hit a loopy drop, because if you're playing with a certain opponent, they're going to just smash that thing right back at you if you give them like a really loopy shot that they can kind of wind up on. Was that not in? That looked very close. I was just out. Yeah, that's my little advice. That I thought that was out. No, that was in. Not necessary in beginners. I mean, this is not really something you even need to know as a beginner. But once you get to an intermediate and advanced play, that becomes a thing. That's out. Let's go towards the end of the game. 5-9-2. Again, everyone was tired at this point. Right idea, just a lot of for the beginner tournament, the execution isn't fully there for a lot of these plays, so it's not much I can critique in these situations. Like I can say like, oh, just hit it better, but that's not really a critique. Like people know what they need to do, so I don't want to critique people in a sense of like do better, because obviously everyone's trying to do better. Okay, great shot. That's what I would have done. Probably hit it a little bit more to the left. Higher level opponents will probably be able to get that ball because you hit it basically where the line was. So try to aim more for that other side. All right, that's the end of that game. But I will say, all right, so with all of this being said, and we're not going to watch this last one, or the second to last one. Actually, the last one. We're not going to watch this one. I'll let it play, though, for a second. But again, I just want to point out, like, if you're in this tournament, this is not personal attack. Like, I don't want to offend anyone, and that is not my intention at all with doing this. This is purely for educational purposes only. So hopefully you guys learned something from this, and if you did, subscribe to the BounceCraft channel. Hit the like button. It helps us out. It helps us with the algorithm, all that stuff. And stay tuned for the next one. See you.